Hello and welcome to the first ever online Ceilidh of the Barn Church. We do like our Ceilidhs in the building that's just behind me here. And of course, these days of COVID mean that we can't do it in exactly the way that we would like to, but we can adapt and we can still enjoy it. So all that you need to take this forward and take to the floor, as it were, is something to eat, something to drink, your tapping foot maybe, and as a bonus, if you've got it, someone to take to the floor with and burl around to some of the tunes. Other than that, though, you can enjoy the privilege of being able to stop the show at any point and come back to it later if you need to do it in 2 or 3 sessions, or you can watch it as many times as you like. So who says online is all a bad thing? Anyway, enough about that. More about the tunes and the music and the reason why a wee bit later on. But come on in and join me for a Ceilidh at the Barn. Well done, Bob. Now pour that man a drink. No, seriously, pour that man a drink. It's very thirsty work playing the mouth organ, and there's lots more of that to come. That was our own Bob Potty opening us up there with the Ceilidh, getting us right into it with the mucking of Geordie's Byre, and Geordie's Byre is just right next door to the old barn, by the way. The mucking of Geordie's Byre, the Barren Rocks of Aidan, Westering Home, and Flower of Scotland. So we're fully and definitely into the full fling of the Ceilidh right now, and already needing to catch our breath. But let me just say a little bit about what the Ceilidh's about tonight, or today, or this morning, or this afternoon, whenever it is that you are watching this. It's as a result of a group within our leadership at the Barn called the Admin and Finance Team. And they are putting together a different series of events like quizzes, and this Ceilidh being one of them, pulling together talent to hopefully bless people who watch it, and also in the hope that we might raise some donations towards the ministry and the work and the upkeep of the Barn Church. Now, 2020 has been, and 2021 so far, have been difficult years in terms of global pandemic and lots of restrictions, and especially social functions not being able to do what we've done. But of course, as with everyone else, it has a knock-on effect when we can't use our buildings, when we can't generate income through letting them, etc., etc. We've had to rely more heavily on traditional forms of income, such as the membership giving and all of that, which is all fine, but it puts a lot of pressure on the bank balance. And there's lots of good things to be doing now and in the future. And although we've enjoyed the privilege for many years of not having to specifically fundraise in general for the upkeep and running of the church, what we have done is fundraise lots and experience really huge generosity from many folks along the way for different projects and events and missions and things like that. But this generally, if you would like to give anything at all, is for the general funds of the Barn Church and the everyday work that we do, from work with young people to work with elderly folks and everyone in between. All of the things that you might associate with the Barn, from toddler groups to lunch clubs to craft groups, to the upkeep of the building, etc., etc. All of that is what it's for. So if you would like to donate to that, then please watch out at the end for a website link where you can do that directly online, and we sure would appreciate it. But what we appreciate all the more is your company, and we thank Bob for starting us off there on the Moothy. And as he catches his breath, we'll hear more from him later on, but as he catches his breath, we're going to slow things down and listen now to a lovely tune and the beautiful voice of our own Anne MacDonald as she sings Loch Marie.
Come with me to the land of beauty. Come with me to the land of green. Take my hand while we sit together. Watch the sunset on Loch Marie. Candles flying way in the sky, gentle waters go passing by. Oh, how I long just to see the heather on the hills of Loch Marie. My heart sings as I see the beauty of this land that's surrounding me. In the distance, the pipes are calling, quietly calling to you and me. Oh, how happy my life is here. All I treasure, all that is dear, lies in this land of the purple heather. Run the beauty of Loch Marie.
Fantastic stuff, Anne. Thank you very much. And it really does take you right there in your mind and in your heart, right over to Loch Marie and all the beauty that Anne was singing about there. And isn't it amazing how music can do that? Can really take you to a place. It can take you places where most airlines would wish they could take you right now, but can't, unfortunately. And in this next piece, it's very much the same, a song that would touch many folks' hearts in Scotland. And here with Caledonia, it's Linda Thompson, supported by Jennifer.
I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me in these last few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away, so I've been telling old stories, singing songs that make me think about where I came from and That's the reasons why I seem so far away today. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. I have moved and I've kept on moving, proved the points that I needed proving, lost the friends that I needed losing, found others on the way. Oh, I have tried and kept on trying, stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I have traveled hard with conscience flying, somewhere with the wind. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Now I'm sitting here before the fire, the empty room, the forest choir, the flames that couldn't get any higher have withered now, they've gone. But I'm steady thinking my way is clear, and I know what I will do tomorrow when the hands have shaken and the kisses flow. Well, I will disappear, and let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. And let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
And again, beautiful singing and beautiful voice. Thanks very much to the Thompsons, and we'll see more of them, literally more of them, in a little wee while. But doesn't songs like that maybe bring a tear to your eye, or especially mean more and become more emotional when we're away from home? And that line that says, if I should become a stranger, then that would make me more than sad. And that's why doing these online things, whether it be social, whether it be church, whether it be other activities, it's important to stay connected. And we're really grateful for the technology that enables us to do that, even though it's not the way that we would choose or that we would want. It does make a difference. And so we're so grateful for that, because we don't want to become strangers with each other, with the community around us. So let's not be more than sad. Let's be glad that we can connect, and that hopefully one day soon we'll be able to heuch and chooch and burl each other around the floor. But in the meantime, it will continue on with the virtual way, or the online way, as I would prefer, because virtual implies it's not real, but it actually is real. Or maybe not, because this character who's larger than life, I think sometimes is sometimes no real, as you would say, but very much real and very much a farmer at heart and by hand. It's Bob Potty again, and he's given the Mouthie a rest at the moment as he uses other Mouthie to bring us the classic, certainly a classic of his, Paddy McGinty's Goat.
Now, Patrick McGinty, an Irishman of note, fell in for a fortune, so he bought himself a goat. Says he, now of goat's milk I'm going to have me fill. But when he brought the nanny home, he found it was a bull. All the young ladies that live in Killaloe, they're all wearing bustles like their mothers used to do. They each wear a bolster beneath their petticoat, and leave the rest to Providence and Paddy McGinty's goat. Mrs. Burke to her daughter said, "Listen, Mary Jane, who was the lad you were scuddling in the lane? He'd long wiry whiskers a-hanging from his chin." "'Twas only Pat McGinty's goat," she answered with a grin. Then she went away from the village in disgrace. She came back with powder and paint upon her face. She'd rings on her fingers and she wore a sable coat. You bet your life she didn't get those from Paddy McGinty's goat. Now Mary McCartney the knot was going to tie. She washed out her trousseau and she hung it out to dry. Along came the goat and they saw the bits of white, and chewed up all the rose upon her wedding night. "Oh, turn out the light quick," she shouted out to Pat, "for though I'm your bride, sure I'm not worth looking at. Had to have everything I told you when I wrote, but now I'm left with nothing all through Paddy McGinty's goat." Mickey Riley, he went to the races t'other day. He won $20 and he shouted hip hooray. He held up the note, shouted, "Look at what I've got." The goat came up and grabbed at it, swallowed up the lot. "He's eating me banknote," said Mickey with a hump. They sent for a doctor and they brought a stomach pump. They pumped and they pumped for the $20 note, but all they got was ninepence out of Paddy McGinty's goat. Now all Paddy's goat had a wondrous appetite, and one day for breakfast he had some dynamite. A big box of matches, he swallowed all serene, then he went out and swallowed up a quart of paraffin. He sat by the fireside, he didn't give a hang. He swallowed a spark and exploded with a bang. Now if you go to heaven, you can bet $1 note that the angel with the whiskers on is Paddy McGinty's goat.
Thanks once again for that well-kent story, Bob, but one that's never overtelt. So I'll look forward to hearing it again and again and again, telt by your good self. If it's about time that you need to replenish your glass or get some more snacks, you're going to have to get up on your feet. So while you're up on your feet, how about a wee dance? Now, let's start with, say, a waltz. I think, yeah, we'll be gentle on you. We're going to start with a waltz, but maybe that's a hint that there might be something a bit more energetic coming after it. And isn't it fortunate that the Scottish Government at the time of recording have just allowed 6 people from 6 households to gather outside? That's all I'm saying about what's coming after the waltz, but we'll go straight into it. So be ready. In the meantime, though, here is Anne MacDonald playing The Loveliest Night. Time for a waltz. Take your partners. Now, don't go anywhere. Don't leave the floor. Just take your partners for the Dashing White Sergeant. Here's the Thompsons. Good. Well, that's some energy spent and more calories burnt off, ready for the next round of snacks. So please sit down, take a seat, take a load off, and take a breath. That was the Thompsons, hugely talented family. That was Neil there with Linda on flute and also Jennifer on guitar. A wonderfully talented family, lots of musical instruments played between them. In fact, maybe they've got the whole thing covered. I don't know. There's always a different instrument I see coming out of that household in its talent and playing. So thank you very much from them, and we'll see you again taken to the stage in a little bit. If you're interested to know the tunes, or if you don't know the tunes, or if you feel I need to remind you of the tunes, it was the Dashing White Sergeant, which then also comprised of My Love Is But a Lassie Yet, and then Kate Dalrymple. Now, spreading some love and some cheer around during this online Ceilidh. I keep wanting to say tonight. That's because when we normally have Ceilidhs at night, but this could be, you could be watching it at 3 o'clock in the morning, or you could be watching it with your afternoon tea or your 11s. I don't know. It could even be on your lunch hour. I dinna ken, and it doesn't matter because it's a Ceilidh nonetheless. And we are sharing and we are spreading whatever joy and love and talent that we can. And you know, when it comes to spreading, there's many more things to name. There's butter and there's fire. And then, of course, there's fame. Not that I'd know anything about that. But the thing that spreads the fastest, aye, it's the quickest, you'll agree, is the spoken word of rumour. So just listen and you'll see. Now, the rumour I would speak of here was started by a man in Inverness who whispered it from in behind his hand. You hear what I heard, Willie? Aye, it's awful, man, it's right. I'd never have believed it, though it gave me such a fright. But poor old Willie was so upset when he heard that this had been. So he straightway told his brother George, while lived in Aberdeen. But dearie Mrs. Geordie Minutes off a fit of shock. I'll hit to tell my cousin Rob when next I'm in the broch. But instead he told his sister Jean, a bus conductor's lass, who told Steenhaven, Larnskirk and Alkitoon she passed. Well, that's what I heard only why. I just thought, keep it to yourself. And indeed they kept it just like her and couldn't wait to tell. Until she reached Old Farford where once more nothing loath. She told it to a fisherman who told it to our broth. By Chihuahua was their reaction, or perhaps just, dear me. But they couldn't wait to tell the tale when they get until Dundee. Oh, well, I never in my life. But indeed the rumour took to water and spread across to Fife. It was told at every meeting place and spread from door to door. At first I listened cautiously, but they soon said, tell us more. So more and more and more, the rumour fleed around, till they spelt it out in capitals in Edinburgh town. They shouted it in Leith, but oh, the tone grew more discreet as it passed up Leith Walk and along the length of Princess Street. Well, there a fella took it on a train to Glasgow, and that's how, if you live there, you've probably heard the rumour now. But that's not where it all finished, for it carried on and passed on a steamer heading westward toward Ireland and Belfast. Is that the truth, the Irish said? They thought it was a shame, but they didn't like the rumour, and so they sent it home again. Well, to Stranraer it came, and then northwards over Ayrshire and Kintyre, where there it spread quite freely like the heather was on fire, over Mull and Tobermory, Malachile, and that is why, once again by way of water, the rumour came to Skye. But they couldn't tell it further, and the reason is because by the time they reached the islands, they'd forgotten what it was. Now, with that rumour safely put to bed in the West, let's go back to our Bob on the Moothy. Well, that was our Bob standing tall there and delivering another few tunes on the Moothy. And you might have thought, well, it's all the same again because he was back at those barren rocks. It must be a well-known place to him, or maybe a well-liked place. But then he was also westering home, so I don't know what you make of that. Maybe he was just trying to tease us or lead us in a false sense of security, because we eventually got there to something else. He gave us the Keel Row and also the road and the miles to Dundee. I suspect we'll be coming back to that road in a short while. Speaking of standing though, Bob has always been the ambitious type. He's a farmer, as I said before. I remember once I phoned to speak to him about how many tea cakes, Tunnocks tea cakes he'd had that week. That's a wee joke in between Bob and myself, which we're happy to, if you bring a box of Tunnocks tea cakes with you, we're happy to let you in on the joke. But I phoned Bob one night to speak to him, and I got Margaret, and she said, "Oh, Bob, he's out in the field, Mike. He's out in the field, just standing there in the middle of the field." But anyway, he eventually called me back, and I said, "Bob, what are you doing just standing out in the middle of the field?" And he says, "Well, I was looking, Mike. I thought maybe all my years of service and all of that might be due an OBE from Her Majesty." And I said, "And what's that got to do with what you were doing tonight?" And he says, "Well, I've heard in order to get the OBE, you have to be outstanding in your field for a long time." There you go. Take what you make of that. But thank you, Bob, for that lovely piece. Moving on now, as possibly we should do rather quickly. Oh, all of a sudden we're in the dark. Is it because my jokes were so bad? The power's been cut? Quite possibly. Well, I'll need to have a look and see if I've got any change in my sporran to put in the meter. But it's kind of appropriate that we're left in the dark, even just for a moment, because our next special guest believes probably that children should be heard and not seen. That's right, the strict rule was camera must be off. But here's Joseph Robertson with A Gift of a Thistle and The Lass in the Green Dress. And after that, we'll go straight into a couple of waltzes by the Thompsons, and hopefully by that time I'll get enough money in the whip round for the meter. Well done, and thanks again for that beautiful set of waltzes. That was the Thompsons with Annie's Waltz, followed by Margaret's Waltz. Now, I think tradition has it that the two ladies there were fighting over whose waltz it was going to be, and they couldn't come to decision, so there had to be one for each of them. And there you go, that's Annie's Waltz and Margaret's Waltz, two lovely tunes. Thank you so much for those. We're going to go back over to Anne MacDonald again, who's going to sing for us once more.
When I was a lad, a tiny wee lad, my mother said to me, "Come see the northern lights, my boy, they're bright as they can be." She called them the heavenly dancers, merry dancers in the sky. I'll never forget that wonderful sight, they made the heavens bright. The northern lights of old Aberdeen mean home, sweet home to me. The northern lights of Aberdeen are what I long to see. Been a wanderer all of my life, and many a sight I've seen. Godspeed the day when I'm on my way to my home in Aberdeen. I wandered many far-off lands and travelled many a mile. I missed the folk I cherished most, the joy of a friendly smile. It warms up the heart of the wanderer, the clasp of a welcoming hand, to greet me when I return home to my native land. The northern lights of old Aberdeen mean home, sweet home to me. The northern lights of Aberdeen are what I long to see. I've been a wanderer all of my life, and many a sight I've seen. Godspeed the day when I'm on my way to my home in Aberdeen.
Wonderful. Anne MacDonald there with the Northern Lights of Old Aberdeen, a classic and beautifully sung and played. Well, we're going back to Bob now, and Bob might be cringing thinking, what on earth is he going to say about me next? Well, I'm not going to spill any more secrets, Bob, don't you worry about that. But I'm going to say that his amazing talent is that this next piece, which is Back to the Road and the Miles to Dundee, but he's going to play it with both mouths. How does that work? Well, you just have to see.
All winter was howling o'er moor and o'er mountain, and wild was the surf and the deep rolling sea. When just about daybreak I met a young lassie, who asked me the road and the mile to Dundee. Says I, my young lassie, I canna weel tell ye the road and the distance, I canna weel gie. But if you permit me to gang a wee bitty, I'll show you the road and the miles to Dundee. At once she consented and gied me her arm, and near word did I speir wha the lassie might be. She appeared like an angel in feature and form, as she walked by my side on the road to Dundee. So here's to that lassie, I ne'er shall forget her, and ilka young laddie who's listening to me. Just ne'er be as sweet to convey a lang lassie, though it's only to show her the road to Dundee.
Well, thank you, Bob, for keeping us on the road. We've not quite reached Dundee, but, well, maybe you are. If you're watching this in Dundee, then you certainly have reached Dundee. But it is time for us to hit the road now and take our leave of you and say farewell, whether that's have a good day, whether it's good afternoon, whether it's good night, whatever it is the end of our online Ceilidh. I do hope you've enjoyed it. And if you would like to make a donation, however big or small, in appreciation of those who have given their time and talent and put it out there on this online Ceilidh for us, then those funds will go to the life and ministry and community work of the Barn Church Culloden. Please check out our website, and there's a simple way to donate there. The link is below, as they say. And also, if you would like to share this with family and friends, and please do like and share the video. It can spread just like a rumour that there might be a half-decent Ceilidh going about online, and we're very happy for you to do that. It only remains for me to thank those who have made this Ceilidh possible. So thank you, first of all, to the organisation and the skills of the Barnes admin and finance team, particularly Izzy Freudenthal, who organised all the talent, or corralled it all. I'm not sure what her methods are, but they're always successful. So thank you to Izzy. Thank you very much, though, to our talent, our entertainers and performers. Thank you so much for sharing with us some of your amazing talent. And as we go, we want you to be blessed. And so to close us out is our own Douglas Wilby. And although this is called a traditional Irish blessing, I think it's all right, because we're all Celts in the kilt here, are we no? Anyway, farewell for now. God bless you, and thanks for watching.
May your life in this world be a happy one. May the sun be warm and may the skies be blue. May each storm that comes your way clear the air for a brighter day. May the saints and Saviour watch over you as you make your way through this old world of ours. As you see the beauty of the morning dew, as you smell the summer flowers, as you pass away the hours, may the saints and Saviour watch over you. May your life in this world be a happy one. May the sun be warm and may the skies be blue. May each storm that comes your way clear the air for a brighter day. May the saints and Saviour watch over you as you spend your time with your friends and family, as you see the warmth and love they have for you, as you see the wars and hate that others radiate. May the saints and Saviour watch over you. May your life in this world be a happy one. May the sun be warm and may the skies be blue. storm that